Hi everyone. Today we're going to be doing a recipe that I grew up on. My family used to make all the time when we had leftover mashed potatoes. It's called stuff on a shingle. And all it is basically a hamburger gravy that goes over mashed potatoes. And I'm going to do mine a little different. I have au jus over here, and inside with the au jus I mixed up some balsamic vinegar. We have extra lean ground beef that we're going to use. I rather use extra lean ground beef than the other grades simply because there's less fat in them. And I don't like the flavor of ground turkey and stuff like this. I just don't. You got to have beef with this. So I use the extra lean. I'm going to caramelize an onion, and I'm going to show you this zucchini. This came out of our garden the other day, along with, what, I think it was like 4 or 5 others, maybe 6. Anyway, this one was so big it was grown into the ground, so we had to use it. So tonight I'm going to cut this up, and I'm going to roast it in the oven at 400 degrees, and I'm just going to sprinkle it with a little Mrs. Dash garlic and herb and some pepper with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. And as a matter of fact, I'll show you how I'm going to cut this really quick. I just cut off the end here. It's already cleaned, already washed, and I just kind of a little bit thicker than a little bit. You want it kind of like that. That's about the thickness that you want it. Of course, I don't get too technical with measurements, as you all know. I want to say also that if anybody has any kind of suggestions of recipes that they want me to try out, I'm willing to do that for you. Just send me a message and I'll see what I can do. So we're not going to get too fancy or technical with this. You could slice this into sticks or whatever you prefer, but this is just what I'm going to do. And I'm going to lay them out on my sheet pan. The reason why I'm using an old sheet pan is some of the new ones have that non-stick coating on them. And most of them do not tolerate a heat over 350 degrees. And that's why some of them go bad really quick after just a couple of uses. So I baby my new sheet pans and I beat up on my old ones. Why not? I kept around an old one just for the purpose of roasting vegetables and stuff. And you can go ahead and put foil down on this, but I can promise you these will stick. And the worst thing in the world to get is vegetables, or if you're roasting potatoes or any kind of thing, the worst thing to get is tinfoil pieces stuck to your product. So, I mean, you can just fire these in however you want to. Now, I'm going to use a little bit of oil. I have this gigantic monster, but to portion control everything, we'll use this. And this is about a tablespoon here. So I'm going to do this before I even get started on all my other ingredients for the stuff on a shingle. So you're going to use a little bit, about a tablespoon. You basically want a little bit of olive oil on every one of the zucchinis. And then we're going to take this garlic and herb. Is it? Yep, garlic and herb. We're just going to sprinkle this down. And all this is, you know, garlic seasonings with a bunch of other dried herbs and then some pepper. You gotta have pepper. You want to preheat your oven to 400 degrees to do this. Depending on how thick you slice your zucchini will be about how long it will take. I'm going to come back and I'll show you how I caramelize my onions. So I'll see you soon. Hi guys, here's a quick tip for anybody who has a sensitivity to cutting onions. I learned this years ago when I worked in a deli. All you need to do is after you take the skin off your onion, bring it over to the sink and just rinse it off with cold water. And what that's going to do is it's going to stop it from, it's going to stop it from warming up to give off the aroma that burns most people's eyes. Now here I'm just going to do some thin slices, or however, whatever size you like, type of slices. And I'm starting to caramelize my onion. Now this process is probably going to be the longest process of this whole recipe. I like caramelized onions in mine. My mom, she would just kind of lightly saute the onions. She likes the raw onion flavor, and I never ever liked it, but hey, whatever. Okay, so I'm going to take these half rings that I have here, and I'm just going to separate them with my fingers. You don't have to get too technical. I mean, if they fall in the pan, they fall in the pan. That's the way it goes. They're going to be caramelized anyway. I just like that whole separation of the layers. Okay. So I'm just going to continue doing this, and when I come back, the onions should be ready, and we'll go on to the ground beef and putting the onions and the ground beef and the au jus all together. So we'll be back.